Having watched her take the previous 5 attempts, like I could see she was on the verge of jumping something really special. And so I told her before that 6th attempt, Synclair, like, you can win this thing right now. Like, I'm telling you, you can win this.
And walking away, I was like, there's no way that I can win the whole game. But sitting down and actually like really looking at the scoreboard, I was like, wait, like, no, he's right. I can actually win this thing.
This is Synclair Savage, the senior from Louisville.
Second at the ACC Outdoor Championship. She was 8th back in 2023, and this would be her 6th.
I started competing track and field about my 5th grade year of middle school. I knew that I could compete at a high level around like my freshman year of high school, kind of sophomore year-ish. That's kind of when I really started to see some growth and realize that I could do it at a collegiate level.
She was one of the first people I talked to when I first accepted the job to Louisville. And I remember having a phone conversation with her when I was sitting in my backyard and just being really impressed with her mentality, her attitude, just the way she talked about the sport. And I could tell this is someone that really wanted to be great and reach the highest levels of performance.
So making it for the NCAA meet for indoor and outdoor was really something that I had as a goal for a long time. And after I started seeing progression, that was something that I was very happy to accomplish. I was very grateful to be able to place at both of those meets, and it was something that I had a goal for a long time. So really seeing that actually go into effect and being able to do that was really, really, really fun. And then my senior year getting hurt, it was kind of like a halt in the road, and I had to kind of like dig a little deeper, and they gave me confidence. So the injury that I had was a stress reaction in a vertebrae in my lumbar spine, in my pelvis. So I think just repeated jumping and lifting and all that stuff just contributed to that, and it was a lot of, like, I'd say overuse. It was kind of in a place where I didn't know that I had to take the whole year off. I kind of thought that I would just take indoor off or just take outdoor off or kind of like flip-flop. But at the end of the day, it was very hard mentally finding that out.
Yeah, it was a tough time for her. I remember being in that doctor visit when they broke the news to her and she started crying. But just being supportive, obviously. I'd meet with her maybe once a week individually just to kind of check in. How's life? How you doing?
Being when you're hurt in track and field, you tend to get outside the circle. And that's very difficult to do, you know, in sports where everybody practices at the same time and you're in an arena or you're on a field, people can still be involved. In track and field, it's difficult.
I had a lot of support from my family, friends, and the coaching staff that we have, and they ultimately were like, no, you need to stay out here, stay around the team, stay involved, stay acclimated, so by the time that I could get back and keep training, that it wouldn't be hard for me to reintegrate back into that.
She would come to practice still, and sometimes she'd video for me, or sometimes she'd like take notes for me.
What led her to being able to get through the injury was her determination, her confidence, which had waned at the time a little bit, her ability to be analytical and how to get back. And then once we got her back in the fold, and slowly she progressed back, and then she got fully integrated back. And now what you're seeing is 4.5 months of one of the most consistent students we've seen in 30 years.
And from the time she got back from spring break all the way through the NCAA championships, she didn't miss a single practice. She didn't even miss a single rep. When you have that level of just methodical, consistent training, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through the end of the week, week after week after week for 3-4 months straight, good things are going to happen.
From the summer going into the fall is very important, and especially since I came off an injury, I knew that I had to start at a point where other people weren't at. It was really a process during the summer, and it was really hard, and I would do it again all over. If I could say I could do it all over again, I would. But it was definitely a learning experience and something that, like I said, I contribute to my success today.
Despite the initial shock of it and disappointment, I think eventually, she flipped that into a positive and used that time to get healthy, but to also kind of recalibrate mentally as well. And I think that really set her up really quite well into this season.
To sit here and say that we felt like she was going to win the national championship in January of this year, probably wouldn't have said that. The goal was to make the national championship, and that's one of the things we always talk about is make the national championship, be healthy and happy when you get to the national championship, and then maybe the stars align. And that was the goal. And for her, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, the stars aligned.
It is a great day for track and field, and the track and field is great here at Haywood Field in Eugene, Oregon. An oval that's seen it all Americans to Olympic champs, and ready for another chapter here at the University of Oregon.
Let's go to the main straightaway, and the women's long jump is the Synclair Savage, the senior from Louisville.
So for the actual jump, I'd say I remember running down the runway.
This would be her 6th attempt of the competition.
I remember taking off. I don't remember landing. I remember getting out of the pit, and then I remember just looking at the mark and kind of like weighing it and seeing, like, I knew it was my best jump, but I was just kind of, I remember being like, oh, I don't know if this is enough to win it, but I know this is my best jump. And
then it comes up on the board, and from my point of view, I'm getting it again, goosebumps again, because it's just, how often do you have a chance to win an NCAA title?
Seeing the jump and seeing it pop up on the board is something I'll never forget. Like, I remember I jumped up into the sky and was just like really, really, really happy. And I cried a little bit, but I was like, let me not do too much. There's so many people behind me, but it was amazing looking up to my family and seeing them up there, and looking at my Coach Bob, and like seeing the joy all over his face was something that like is just ingrained in my mind forever.
It felt like I was living a Disney movie. I think she found a way to kind of marry having fun, being consistent, being heavily focused, and putting forth a great effort every day. And all those things really came together through the outdoor season, and that sort of catapulted her as the season went on, all the way to the end of the season.
I feel like I'm in a dream right now. Just overall ecstatic and just grateful to be here at the end of the day. Grateful for all these competitors, but I think somebody's gonna have to pinch me right now. Actually, so like I really feel like I'm in a dream.
Anyone that works in NCAA athletics dreams of being part of an NCAA title. That's the ultimate achievement in our profession, and so to be a part of that and witness it up front like that was nothing short of miraculous. And so she supplanted her legacy in Louisville athletics forever, and yeah, it was really special. Yep.
Because outside of Card Park, we have all of the national champions up there, and I know a lot of times my family members would be like, "Oh, like you're gonna be up there," and I'd look at them and be like, "No, I'm not," but thanks. But actually seeing it as a moment in my life is something that I will just remember forever and forever be grateful for, because those national champions are people that I've looked up to forever, like Gabby Leon and all of those other faces up there. Is something that I just is so surreal and something that like I'll never forget. So being able to be a part of something like that is just amazing.
You know, her legacy is deep because obviously she's a great athlete, but she's also a 3.8, 3.9 student who's going to eventually apply to dental school, who's brilliant and humble. Presidents throughout the country should look at Synclair as the epitome of what a student and an athlete at the highest levels should be.